Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Channel Rockaritaville. I'm El Rock, your hostess, and we are here to do your timeless, intuitive, general energy reading for the week ahead for the sun, moon, and rising sign of Taurus. As always, this is a general reading, so if the story that I pull out today isn't yours, you might want to check out your moon and rising sign on the channel or other placements because there could be something there for you as well. And then finally, last but certainly not least, I want to thank my new subscribers, my returning subscribers, and all of you popping by Rockaritaville just to check it out. Thank you so much for being here. Your likes, shares, subscribes, comments, all of that helps the channel grow, so thank you. And so with all of that said, let's check out the most influential energy for the week ahead for Taurus, please. Well, let's see. Orca, dive under the surface. This has been coming out a lot. Looking at things from a new perspective, really digging deep within yourself to find out the things that matter to you, that you're prioritizing. There's a pod or a family involved here. So you're diving deep, and you are also coming out of the water as well. The orca that's breached the surface is, you know, looking for something more. It's playful. It's seeking alignment. I hear as above, so below. So the same, just as above, so below. Interesting. Okay, so that's done with me for right now. We'll see if something else comes through for that. What else do we have Taurus for the week ahead? I see a ship on here. Let's look at this ship. That ship looks like it's in trouble, right? There's big waves. Is there potentially an incoming storm in the week ahead, maybe? And you need to dive under the surface, deeper into the water to protect yourself, possibly? Because that little boat looks like it's in trouble. Let's find out more about Taurus. You are worthy and plantain. So tabby cat and plantain. Plantain is rewild. It's going back on the map of your life, and it's finding out what was most important to you in each place that you visited on your map, Taurus. And each place you visit could be something like a job, a past relationship, how you spent holidays and traditions, things like that, right? So it's a greater view of your life and where you've been, and it's going back and figuring out what was most important to you. And this is where you're diving under the surface, because you're going to be going back into emotional waters as well to rediscover what you've learned. So Taurus, in the week ahead, you are, I'm surprised Remembrance isn't out. You're going back to review those places that you've gone, and areas also where you felt a sense of worthiness and where you haven't. And when you're in a situation or a place on your map, Taurus, and it is, it's a place where it doesn't feel good. Boy, I've traveled a lot in my life, Taurus, and every place I go, every city has a different frequency. For example, the first time I ever went to New York City, I was staying with a friend who was nannying in White Plains, New York, and so we took the train in. And when I walked outside of Grand Central Station, New York City, Manhattan, had a pulse to it. It had a vibration. It had a beat like no other city I've ever been to in my entire life. And, you know, the same is true when I walked off of an airplane onto the tarmac in the Caribbean, and it was, you know, there was steel pan bands, you know, playing, and rum shots, you know, as you leave the airport. So understanding the frequency, which which of those places that you've been in your life, you know, was it a job that you loved in your 20s that brought you complete and total fulfillment, but it didn't pay enough? Where have you been? What have you done? And what do you want to bring forward? And Orca's here to take you on that trip, okay? So you've probably been in some difficult places in your life, just like that little fishing boat has. And you found your way out of them, and understanding the techniques that you used, how you navigated through those situations. When you're in rough seas, you run a different playbook, Taurus, than you would when life is normal, right? So, you know, dig back into those places where you felt a sense of connectedness, a sense of worthiness, a sense of appreciation in your life with people, places, things, job situations, friendships, things that you do casually for leisure. You know, if you are, you know, maybe going to happy hour every Thursday night and you have a book on your heart, you know, maybe you prioritize yourself rather than the friendships that are wanting nurturing as well. So I think there's a couple different things here in terms of prioritizing yourself, Taurus, in the week ahead, as you revisit these places that you've been and decide what you're bringing forward with you. Tell me more about Taurus's week ahead, the overarching energy for Taurus. I feel like I want to read Tabby Cat, so I'm going to take a pause here. At the bottom of the deck, we have Rose cracking open. So Rose alludes to a romantic relationship. It's at the bottom of the deck. So for some of you, this could be more intimate than something like a job. But Tabby Cat, I'm going to press pause while I find it in the book. All right, Taurus. So Tabby Cat, you are worthy. Twitching in the sunlight, Tabby Cat has ancestral dreams of savannas and sleeping in rocky crevices. A descendant of the wild ones, Tabby still bears the remnants of her stripes and spots, but she's pleased to have moved indoors. Adopting humans was a brilliant move, she purrs, stretching and kneading her paws. Tabby never wonders if she's earned the warm patch of sunlight by the window or the bit of tuna in her evening meal. She never doubts that she is worthy. Tabby licks a paw to smooth the fur behind her ear. You are already enough, she reminds you. Breathe into that knowing. So there's also a ritual here in the book, and we'll read through this, and then we'll also go through the reflection. In ancient Egypt, Cat was a representative of the goddess Bast, come to dwell in your home. She was family royalty. When a cat died, she was mummified and her humans shaved their eyebrows and mourned until their eyebrows grew back. In ancient Celtic lands, Druids used cat medicine to help them slip between the worlds. During the Spanish Inquisition, cats were seen as familiars, magical avatars who assisted with sorcery. Cat is associated with divinity and magic because she keeps her energy attuned. You can keep your own energy field clear with Cat's baths. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, letting yourself settle into your skin. Using your hands, begin smoothing down your energy field a few inches out from your physical body. Not sure you believe that you have an energy field? That's okay. Go through the motions and notice what you feel. If you notice any spots that feel sticky or rough, pluck it out of your energy field and flick it away. Trust your hands and don't overthink it. Cat knows that keeping your energy field clean is an important step in cultivating a magical glow. So with that, you guys, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to talk really quickly about energy, because what we're doing is we're getting a sense of your energy, what lives in the field of potential in your week ahead, right? And we know that what lives in your field of potential is you revisiting something energetically to bring it forward. And in worthiness, when you are managing energy, this best practice of just, you know, taking your hand and running it. And I'm going to use my right hand as an example. Sorry for Energy Lessons 101, but, you know, you're here, so I hope you're enjoying it. So I've been having problems with my wrist and my fingers, right? So I can get your energy going, rub your hands together, and get some heat in between your hands. And then feel the energy. And then find your auric field. And then begin to smooth it over. And as you run up your arm, do you feel it? Do you feel anything different as you begin to smooth over different parts of your body? Do you feel something sticky? Energy has a very distinct signature to it. And when you're working with energetic signatures, one of the things that will help you, Taurus, is to clear out your body space and know where you're receiving hits in your body. So with reflection, dependence and independence, some say that domesticated cats, compared to their ancestors, are forever in the kitten stage, never learning to hunt or take care of themselves. Humans have become their surrogate mothers, taking care of all their needs. But Tabby Cat's aura of self-sufficiency and independence seems at odds with this notion. Is it possible to be both independent and reliant on others? Can you be fully content with life while not in complete control, Taurus? Mountain lion is the wild and full-grown cousin of cat. Mountain lion takes Tabby Cat's teachings up a notch, helping us grasp not only our own worth, but the worth of others, to watch and observe in order to come to understanding, and to move through the world balancing power with intentional action. Mountain lion leads herself and doesn't worry about who follows, and ironically, because of this, sometimes she ends up with a trail of initiates. So people also following you. In terms of that worthiness, you know, you're going back, and you are, part of your worthiness, I think, Taurus, is your independence. And then going back and finding out in your life where your independence was overturned, or an authority figure had something around it that made you change your mind about it. So worthiness is really coming through heavily. I don't normally read out of the book because of the time it takes, but Tabby Cat, there was a message there for more than one of you in terms of worthiness and looking back, especially with the medicine of plantain here and these indicators of family. So we have release rigidity, Valerian, again, cat energy here. That confidence just to follow your soul song, to follow what it is that you are wanting, the path that you're wanting to take, Taurus. And you have old belief systems in your past that have made you feel unworthy, or you've lacked confidence in this move. And you're being asked to release the rigid mindset that you were taught about this, so that you can move towards it, because something here is keeping you from something that you want, and you're diving deep for that. Again, I really feel this feels family related to me, but it could be job related. It could be your immediate family with your significant other and your children. But whatever it is, you're being called back into your worthiness and to release that rigid nature. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have River Otter sliding into joy. So, you know, keeping the spirit of who you are alive, these things that you loved about your past, the things that you're bringing forward, keeping and integrating into your life that keeps you healthy, happy, and playful, which of course brings you excellence within your own environment, your work environment, your family environment, all of those. find out a little bit more about why Orca's here, please. Clarify Orca for Taurus for the week ahead, please. Okay. So, yeah, you're going into a space of quietude, 4 of Cups. You are thinking about things. It looks like you've got people here in your background wanting to offer you cups, and you're just not ready to receive that right now. You're thinking about where you've been, where you're going, and you're diving beneath the surface. There's water in each one of these cups, right? So maybe we have a cup here that's family, and maybe we have a cup here that's work, and maybe we have a cup here that's personal hobbies and meaningful things for you. And with the medicine of plantain and rewild, you're looking deeply into those waters. I mean, eyes closed, but metaphorically looking deeply into each one of those cups to find that emotional abundance that you're going to potentially put into this cup. Maybe this is an empty cup with somebody else that you're looking at understanding, you know, what am I going to put into this cup here, and what is this person putting into this cup? Whatever it is you're going into, you know, meditation in the week ahead periodically. Yeah, so for some of you, this is a intimate relationship. We have the 6 of Cups here in reverse. It's your base desires. It's lust. It's being driven out of your root and sacral chakras. A little bit of your solar plexus. When solar plexus is imbalanced, it can go from creative to manipulative. And here you're diving under the surface of something that's lustful to see if there's also something more joyful there. And understanding that balance between these two. So we'll put it in the sideways position. It came out in reverse, but if you were to balance the two, you would have a healthy nature between being lustful for something, which isn't always bad, right? If it's balanced, because it can bring joy. It depends on the intention behind it, Taurus. So dive under the surface of whatever this lust is. It's somebody from the past or something from the past that has you distracted potentially. It has you out of joy, and it has you in base desires. Not that being in base desires can't be joyful, Taurus, by all means. You know, it just, be mindful of the energy of the situation, right? If it's a situation that you're going into in a lustful capacity, and you know that there's the potential for yourself to be hurt because of past behaviors that you've seen as a pattern on this map with this person from the past, if you potentially know what's coming, it's a risk, but it's a calculated risk. So it's going to be up to you. But if lust doesn't turn this upright into joy and turns it into grief or a sense of loss because you've moved with your base desires first, instead of moving out of your heart's desires, Taurus, that's where it turns into dangerous ground, right? So be mindful of your heart, okay? That's all. Tell me more of plantain. Rewild for Taurus. Why is plantain here? What's Taurus looking back at? Oof. Oh, that's way too many cards. All right. I'm just going to pull the ones that flipped upright. So, Rewild. King of Swords in reverse. This is that 6 of Cups energy coming in. So this is the person. It's a judgmental. It is, again, do you remember when I talked about being manipulative? This is somebody who has every thought, they're controlling, right? Every thought is a judgment against somebody else. And also fear of being judged by others, right? So they're thinking about what people are thinking about them. What people are thinking about you Taurus, is none of your concern. What you're thinking about yourself is absolutely your concern. And this King of Swords is judgmental, it's manipulative, and it is not an energy that is for your highest good. Now, in the upright position, when it's analytical and it's talking through things, right? Like, well, Taurus, you know, how might I help you around the house more? You know, instead of being like, Taurus, why aren't the dishes done, right? So this is why I feel like there's some family energy in here, because somewhere there's a judgment that you're holding as a truth, and it's getting in your way. It's not even necessarily, it could be a current voice, or it's a current voice that is the echo of the original past voice where the unworthiness came through. So you're looking back at this judgmental King of Swords that's had impact on your life. It's somebody who was selfish, with the Six of Pentacles here in reverse, indecisive, kept you guessing, didn't give you all the information. This energy is definitely not a high vibrational energy for you, Taurus. And it's something from your past, because it's plantain and it's rewild. So it's looking back. And all of this energy and this past energy here that you're diving into with Orca, and that you're spending time in the Four of Cups, all has to do with your worthiness and whatever rigid nature that you've picked up because maybe you feel unworthy. So tell me more about Tabby Cat for Taurus. So that Ten of Wands is indecision. It's the end of a cycle, and maybe this cycle hasn't completely closed for you. So with this here, the cage is, you know, it's still in place. It's still, you know, the phoenix can't rise. It's actually in the reverse position, so it's going to hit the ground instead of being in the upright position and going upwards into resolution. So with this, there's something there's an indecision about the end of this Ten of Wands, which is this super fiery, passionate relationship. It's something lustful, right? It's something that's driven out of the base desires. And it's in the 10 that cycle wants to end, but there's indecision around that. And really, you know, examine that selfishness. Examine your overgiving, Taurus. Or, you know, if this is a cross watcher, this could be a Taurus that I'm talking about. So, tell me more about Tabby Cat, please. Where's Tabby Cat here? Healthy to close the cycle, I think, or if not closing the cycle, finding out how you might be able to rework it. Some behaviors are too integrated, and the loss just has to happen. It doesn't make it bad. Okay, yeah, so the truth. Yeah, so it came out sideways, and in the upright position, it's you speaking your truth, and in the reversed position, it's silence. When a card comes out sideways, it can be a wobble. In this case, it's, you know, it's you really, I think, kind of being afraid of being judged about speaking up, and you're remaining in silence. And, you know, it's just, if we were to look at this as Earth, right, and the energy of it, that in sideways, it's just going around the Earth, right? It just keeps rotating around and around. Where in the upright position, it can shoot out and up into the noosphere, into the atmosphere, right? That you can begin to redirect the line of energy to make those changes by speaking up. And perhaps, you know, maybe you're a woman and women have a bias in your family and they're not entirely allowed to speak up, and they have certain, you know, things like that, right? And same with it being a man or a masculine, right? It's your ability to speak up. It's getting out of your base chakras and getting into your upper chakras and functioning out of your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. It's bringing in that wisdom with the crown chakra. It's, you know, being available to insights with that third eye. It's being able to speak your truth with elegance, with the King of Swords in the upright position, to be analytical, to be clear and concise about that. So, you know, you are worthy to speak your truth, regardless of any sort of biases that you have about your ability to speak your truth, whatever that may be, right? So if as a child you had an authority figure, an aunt or an uncle, or, you know, somebody like that who was like, we don't care what you have to say, or, you know, shut up, or, you know, I'm not listening, whatever it is, you lost your sense of worthiness around your voice. And your voice is beautiful, Taurus. Use it. Tell me more about Tabby Cat, please. Also in sideways, this is the crown. This is completion and embodiment. And then in the reverse position, unfulfillment. So you have wobbly energy. Your worthiness energy here that's wobbly is the part of yourself that wants to come into completion and embodiment, to embrace your power, to embrace the truth of who you are. And so in terms of your worthiness, the cards that are coming out with the wobble is you being able to speak up for yourself and feeling unfulfilled because you're not. When you can turn the crown card upright, you know, talking about the crown chakra, using that wisdom, you can begin to embody what it is, this worthiness, right? This sense of well-being, because you do have a voice. Wow, this is deep, Taurus. Can I get one for Valerian, please? How are we doing for time? Okay. Valerian. What is Taurus rigid about that they're being asked to release, please? Yeah, you're confused. You're stuck. You are in the mind space. I feel that this didn't come out in sideways or reverse, but I do feel your frustration as well. You're feeling trapped, right? You're wanting to move forward. There's noise in your mind space. And do you see all of these swords here in this web? Here, 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 here. Do you see those swords? There's one stabbing him in his heart. There's some in his mind and his ears. And then he's blocked by these two in front. And it's, you know, there's something in your mind that's a repeat pattern, that's noise, that you're trying to get rid of. And it's there, it's running in the background, like an application on your phone. It's running in the background. And you have a rigid nature about, this is how I was taught. This is what I thought I was supposed to do. And so it's the ability to, you know, drop your hands, pull the swords out of your mind, what you're hearing, what you're saying, look up, step back, and walk around those swords, okay? Let that mind, that confusion go. If you don't understand, you're not going to figure it out by getting yourself further confused. You'll figure it out by releasing it and letting it go and not thinking about it for a while, so that mind space can get cleared out and that new fresh energy can come in, that clarity, right? So tell me more about Valerian, please. All right. Yep. Yep, absolutely. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yes, I'm glad. Excellent. So you do. You walk around. You walk out from behind the swords. You get into your bubble there, and you Six of Swords it, and you rise above it. You're ascending. You're going. It looks like that. It looks like you are choosing here with this indecision, or you've already chosen to put this card into its upright position, resolve the cycle, and ascend out of it. So that's really beautiful. When you release the rigid stance that you have, you can go into movement. Do you see just how stuck he is? And being able to rise out of that. Maybe this isn't even about, you know, standing up and walking around it. Maybe it's about harnessing this energy expanding it out into your space to make your bubble out of it, and rising up and out of it instead of staying in the middle of it and staying on the ground. Intriguing. So we had one more card pop out. Yeah, the light. There's a reveal. There's a revealing coming out. This is standing in your truth and speaking up about it. I feel like this is, you know, is there something that you've been keeping back that's important to you that's coming out of the closet now? Something, you know, of that nature. Whatever it is, you know, you can just soften a little bit, right? With Valerian. It allows you to just step back from it, rest about it, be mindful, sleep on it, meditate, all of that. So, bottom of the deck, yeah, you're coming out of this, Taurus. Bottom of the deck is the Empress. Something nurturing and loving. This could have to do with a mother energy that we've been talking about, if it's family related. But whatever it is, you know, by you releasing rigidity and finding your worthiness, that makes you more nurturing towards yourself, which makes you more nurturing towards others. So that's beautiful. Let's find out really quickly what Taurus is going to benefit from surrendering in the week ahead, please. And don't forget that at the bottom of the deck, we had River Otter here sliding into joy. So as you do these things, as you tap into your worthiness, as you remember those things with Rewild, with Plantain, that didn't work for you, the selfishness, the judgmental behavior, all of that, as you begin to release that energy out of your system and you begin to forgive for it, that sets you free. Forgiveness isn't about setting other people free. Forgiveness is about setting yourself free, Taurus. That energy holds you back. It's dense, it's heavy. You know, the experience of judgment and anger and frustration and confusion, those are such low frequencies and they cause your body to feel restricted, right? When you can forgive and release, you can feel literally the weight of the energy begin to move and go away. You feel lighter, right? What will Taurus benefit from surrendering in the week ahead, please? Grab this one. Surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universal flow. If something isn't manifesting, Taurus, it's because it's not ready. You're not going to pull the cake out of the oven at 14 minutes when it's supposed to be cooked for 28, right? So, you know, give space for that. This is the time that you're working on releasing things that are holding you back from being available to whatever it is, whether that be new love, you know, a higher level of family commitment, whatever that is. Divine timing's at play, and, you know, that's not your time, that's God's time. And he's not on a linear timeline, or it's not, she's not, however you perceive God or goddess, not on a linear timeline like we are. So also by releasing that energy, that will lighten you up. Focus on yourself, Taurus. That's what this is about. This is about focusing on you and healing those aspects that make you think that you're not worthy of what it is that's waiting for you to feel worthy. This divine timing is around your healing. It's around your releasing, around your letting go. Something greater is waiting to come in. Something nurturing, the Empress, is waiting to come in, and you need to be in a higher frequency, or you want to be in a higher frequency to be able to receive that and leave these past judgments and experiences behind. Don't hold your past against whatever this is. Interesting. Wow. Tell me more about what, there we go. Surrender to miracles, Taurus. Wow. Be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. Absolutely. Remember when we were reading Tabby Cat, and it's like, yes, I am worthy of tuna fish in my bowl, right? So, you know, maybe there's a miracle that you think is that you don't deserve, and you do. And your ability to heal your thoughts about the fact that you don't deserve it is what allows it to come in for you, Taurus. Surrender to silence, this Four of Cups, right? In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. So remember, there was a lot of noise here in this card. It was creating a lot of pain. Whatever you can do to turn off the music, the radio, maybe not the music, but, you know, the noise, right? The commercials, the TV, the news, the gunshots, everything that's delivering bad news and fear. Get out of that, because you'll be in the silence of your ascension, right? Your rise up into worthiness. Surrender to silence, because that's where that happens. God bless you, Taurus. You have a beautiful week ahead, and I'm sending you good vibes and lots of love. You are completely worthy, and don't you ever forget it, my beautiful Taurus. See you next week.